So guys, here we are again with the Fergie way. And a bit of a landmark episode, it has to be said. Episode 40 now. And I'll be honest, when I started this, I never really thought, well, it's not that I thought. I've got a little bit of confidence in my own ability, but I wasn't sure I'd make myself all the way to episode 40. But here we are. And the way to mark this landmark is not to think about the last episode where we got beat by Liverpool, which a bit wounded, to be honest. It's to think about what's going forward. And in today's episode, we have two live comms. One in the semi-final of the FA Cup against Arsenal, and the second one in the semi-final of the Champions League against PSG. So first of all, guys, we'll just go into the games that we've had since the last episode. As you can see, that defeat being pretty much, with the exception of the Real Madrid game, the only blight on our record this season. So, of course, we were going to get beat one day, just really didn't want it to be Liverpool, you know. If you're Mancunian, you'll know what I mean. And I'm sure if you're not, you've seen local rivalries between your team that you do support. And it's just the one that you don't want to lose, you know. But hey-ho, it's behind us now. The team did go forward then and hand Bournemouth's arses to them. 6-0. As you can see, Mata was the one who opened the scoring on that day. Memphis Depay, once again, scoring 2 goals. Give me a little bit of selection issues at the minute. We'll see that as we go into the first game. But Depay went and scored 2 goals, followed by Pogba, getting a couple of goals as well, carrying on his scintillating form as we got towards the back end of the season. He has been outstanding. Bournemouth never really getting in the game. As we can see, they got 1 shot, nothing on target. They barely turned up, if I'm brutally honest. And just a 6-0 drubbing, which was great to see the lads bounce back from that 1-0 defeat against the Pool. We then headed down to South Wales at the Liberty Stadium, where we played Swansea away from home, of course. And here's where I'm telling you, Memphis Depay, once again, giving him another start. That's 4 goals in his last 2 games. Going into the Arsenal game, Rashford, Martial maybe being off the boil a little bit. I think I might have to play him, you know. I really do. As we can see by the stats, Swansea didn't really come at us with anything. We weren't amazing, it has to be said. But yeah, Depay picking up 2 goals, pretty good for him. And once again, if you remember last season, got to the end of the season there, we were just having the run in and Memphis started ripping. So I'm hoping maybe he can continue that form on now, because we've got a lot of fixtures coming up and a lot of big games coming up as well. So maybe he can add something to the squad, because he's not really played that much of a part in the early season. And that was all the games we played since the last episode, guys. So as there's not really been any news, nothing worth a mention, we are just going to head straight into game day. We have got 2 live comps there. Of course, we're playing Arsenal in the semi-final of the FA Cup. A cup we've not won yet. A cup we definitely want to win. So with a little bit of luck, the lads will push us through and we will make our way to Wembley for the final. So here we are, guys, on match day. And as you can see, the press have got us edging this game and the bookies have got us favourites. So things are looking in our favour, but anyone who's been with the series from the beginning will know that there's only been now there's been 2 teams really, with Liverpool beating us, of course, in the previous episode. But other than that, there's only ever been 1 team in the league that's sort of given us issues. They have beaten us before, and I'm sure they've managed to snatch a draw or 2 here or there, and that is Arsenal. Now, there's a couple of guys in the sort of community who play Arsenal. Curty FM, I've mentioned him before. Link will be in the description. Very, very funny guy. He took his Arsenal in the direction of buying the world-class players, and he did ever so well with them, unfortunately. No, I won't go into it, because if you watch it, you'll enjoy it yourself, so I'll say no more. And there is another chap, Wolfie, and just a very bright and vibrant guy is the best way I will describe Wolfie. So once again, I'll leave the links in the description. Both guys, top lads, really, really worth checking out. Have taken their Arsenal saves in slightly different directions, but I'll say no more because I don't want to ruin it. But I know that they both have somewhat of an affinity to Arsenal, so maybe they'll be wanting to see me get beat today. But personally, I of course want to win, because I've not won the FA Cup yet. And but I've got a couple of close fixtures, so we'll move on to the selection screens. We'll just take a look. So we start with the home dugout team, which is of course us. And I've gone for De Gea, Alaba, Bailly, Smalling, Sidibe, Pogba, Schneiderlin, Mensah, Mata, Zlatan, and once again, Memphis Depay. Scored 4 in his last 2 starts. Got to give the lad a crack. He's done so well this season when he's been called upon. Never whinges, never moans, never knocking at the door saying he's not getting played. So I reckon he's definitely worth a shot. Now, one of the problems here is I've got a 2-day gap, and then we play PSG. So if I take command of this game, I'm likely to make sweeping substitutes based on players that I definitely need to use in the PSG game, because once again, the Champions League is a trophy that we want to win, we want to chase. It will be the defining and pinnacle trophy of the series, because if we win it, I do believe that it's probably best to end it. So I want to give it the all, and I want to play the best players I can. So if we manage to get some sort of early lead, some sort of early headway, and feel like we can do this result, I will be making changes. Arsenal's team is very much as they line up in the past. Rather than going through the whole team, one thing I will say is, in addition to Arsenal's squad this year, is Di Maria. We'll have a quick look at him. And I tell you what, he might have hit 30-year-old, but the lad will still be able to do it. And as you can imagine, the way it always works in FM, my biggest concern here is that, being a previous player at Manchester United, if they're going to do any damage today, I really worry it'll be through him. And no doubt, they'll probably have Welbeck on the bench, and he always gives us a torrid time. Thankfully, no Welbeck, so the worry for me comes solely from Di Maria. So we'll go on to see what Roy has to say. We'll apply his advice, and yeah, he's hard tackling Angel Di Maria, probably for the way he got on at United. It's not no one's fault he got his house robbed, but you don't leave your club because of it. You're earning enough money, you just pay for more security, don't you? I mean, think about it. But we'll go with what Roy has to say there, and we should challenge him to pick up where we left off. But we are down at Wembley, and we do want to give the fans a performance to cheer for, which gets me a much better response. I'm going to tell Mata that I want a good performance from him, and I'm going to tell Alaba the same, because he's world class. He should understand it. No, none of them paid attention. Doesn't matter anyway, guys. We'll head into the game at that. I will be changing it to key highlights, and yeah, there we go, key highlights, job done. Because of course we do have 2 live comms there. We'll try and keep the videos nice and short for you guys. We're not going to get anything off the first highlight. It's always a crock. There we go, Zlatan was offside, but hopefully us getting up in their half will be a sign of things to come throughout the game. Half time, guys. FA Cup semi-final. Not a single highlight. The only thing I've seen in that first half is, I shit you not, Icardi was offside. It must have been 6 or 7 times. Crap. Just crap. I mean, we're keeping Icardi out, obviously. They're doing the right thing. But not really happy. Sure, you guys aren't either. I mean, it just, blink of an eye, all disappeared past us. So hopefully we can give them a little bit more in the second half. But we are commanding the game. Arsenal haven't been in it. Arsenal at 35% possession. We're at 65, But hopefully now, as we've got Memphis on the ball, gives it to Pogba, back to Memphis. Memphis is, yes, in there. Memphis grabs himself a goal. That's 5 in his last 3 starts. The kid's on fire at this end of the season. Perfect timing. So as you can see, guys, Memphis with a 1-2 with Pogba gets himself in loads of space. Bottom corner, Czech had no chance. Memphis carrying on his blistering form in the last few games, and it might see him get some real good starts towards the end of this season. Now it's Mata to Pogba. Pogba once again. Pogba and Memphis single-handedly in these last few games has scored so many goals between them. The play seems to be between them as well, which is grand. Pogba there puts it down into the bottom corner. Czech beaten at the same post. We're 2-0 up, and I think what I'm going to do is probably start looking at making some changes. I want to save some of these legs for the Memphis to Mata. I want to save some of these legs now, because we have a game where it's just a 2-day break between this and the PSG game. So I'm already going to start making substitutions. I'm going to take off Juan Mata, bring on Gomez. I'll bring on Herrera for Paul Pogba. And I'm also going to save Depay, because I'm going to start Depay in the PSG game as well, because it's just been too good. So I've took Depay off as well. That's the 3 subs now. So I am screwed. I don't normally do that. If you've been watching for a while, you know I don't make wholesale changes. But in this game, semi-final, I feel we've got it. Hopefully it doesn't bite me in the arse, because there's still 20 minutes left. Probably going to drop it to contain, try and have the guys waste a little bit of time. So we'll do that. And also we'll go to the instructions here. Get the guys to just sit slightly deeper. We'll still work the ball into the box. We will play to a normal tempo, but we want to play even safer, and we'll retain possession. So just want to try and keep on. Oh, well, there we go. Didn't even have to do anything, guys. There's only a minute left. We're in the final highlight. Rashford can't do anything with it. Gives it to Herrera. Fosu-Mensah now. Schneiderlin. Herrera. Fosu-Mensah to Schneiderlin. It's nothing. It's just wasting out the time till the final highlight. This is going to put us in the FA Cup final, guys, which is shit hot, really. Obviously, we got knocked out very early on in the first season. I'm pretty sure it was by Sunderland. I played the youth, like it was what I wanted to do. There we go, guys, final whistle. I played the youth in the first season. I wanted to give the youth games. It bit me. We lost. It's just one of those things. I'm not really going to be too fussed about it. So getting to the FA Cup final in this one is great. So what we'll do is I'll get through the team talks and stuff. We'll see who we're going to play in the FA Cup final, and then we'll be on to the PSG game, second live com. So there we have it then, guys. The final will be against Stoke on the 19th of May. Stoke managing to get themselves to an FA Cup final, which is no mean feat, so they've obviously done quite well. I am confident that we will be able to take that trophy, but of course, a final is very different than any of the games we'll have played Stoke in the league. So, yeah, quietly confident. We should do all right. So before we go into the PSG game, guys, quick look at their schedule, and it's no surprise really because they're always dominant in France, very, very dominant. However, this year they have picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have been defeated 7 times, so they're not going to be a superpower, I hope, I don't think. But once again, they have been a little bit of an outlet for our transfers. We have sold Luke Shaw and Mkhitaryan to PSG. Luke Shaw doesn't bother me that much. I'm pretty sure we can get round him, but Mkhitaryan, he played some good games for us, and I can imagine him trying to cause us trouble. So without any more waiting round, guys, we'll get into the live comp. We are now on game day, guys. It is live comp 2 of the episode. It is, of course, against PSG in the Champions League semi-final. Before I go any further, Arsenal and Atletico Madrid played out a 3-3 draw at the Emirates, so it's still all to play for in the other tie. If we get through this, we would like to get Atletico. We have, of course, just beat Arsenal in the first live come of the episode, so it would be nice to play Atletico, assuming we manage to get past PSG. But with a little bit of luck, we will do. So we are being made relatively heavy favourites, I would say, by the bookies and the press. Cavani's their key man. No doubt Paul Pogba is our key man, who's been in scintillating form just of late. So we'll go into the team selection screen and see who we went with. So we start with the home team, guys, and they have named an unchanged back four and obviously an unchanged goalkeeper with world-class De Gea. But then as we move into the middle, you'll see I've dropped Fosu-Mensah into the defensive role, Pogba stays in the advanced playmaker role, and I've had to bring in Callum Gribbin, based on the fact that Schneiderlin really wasn't fit. He was below 90, which is an absolute no-no for me. So I dropped Fosu-Mensah in there, brought in Gribbin. I do have more sort of players on the bench. Schneiderlin sat in there, he can play a bit of a game. I was going to play Herrera, but he has averaged a 6.88 over the last 5 games, so I left him out. We have, of course, the ever-present Juan Mata playing a trequartista role, and I have swapped out Zlatan Ibrahimovic based on fitness for Anthony Martial, and once again, Depay gets his 4th start in a row, probably for the first time this season. So the team that we do, of course, want to see is PSG, and as you can see, they've got Sirigu in goal with Luke Shaw at left-back, Thiago Silva and Diverge in centre-back with Cancelo, a player who I was interested in. I did have a good look around before we bought Sidibe, but they wouldn't let him go. Once again, another player, Marco Verratti, sat in the middle with Blaise Matuidi. And then they have Mkhitaryan, Pastore, Salah, and, of course, Cavani sat up top. Now, they're laid out like they're going to go at us. We are at Old Trafford, so we should be pretty good. But it's going to be an interesting game, that's for sure. So we've applied Roy's advice, and I'm a little bit surprised to see just one hard tackling. Are you going soft in your old age, Roy? Really? Because it's not like Roy, especially when we've got previous players. So Mkhitaryan's going to get hard tackling. So is Luke Shaw. And I definitely probably want to get Verratti as well, because I mean, Verratti is absolute class. Really, really is. So we need to try and keep him off the ball where possible. So we'll go to the team talk. Not about to prove a point whatsoever. We want to give the fans not a right lot going on. We'll hit up a little bit of fudging because, of course, we want as many greens. Sia Green almost. Only De Gea missing out. And, of course, Smalling. But with a little bit of luck, enough to go into the game with. So we are playing right to left in the first half, guys. We are shooting into the Stretford end, which is odd because we normally do that in the second half. But first highlight's not going to come to anything. Never does, as we know. Unless except for that one time where it bit me, if you remember that episode. But yeah, I'm expecting us to be able to get past PSG, but they do have a strong team. You know, not world-class in every area, but I mean, Matuidi, your Verratti, you know, they're going to be playing quite well. They started off quite well in the first 5 minutes. They're still at 40% possession, which not many people do at Old Trafford while I'm in charge. So with a little bit of luck, fingers crossed, guys. Be nice to take a commanding lead from the first leg into the second leg and hopefully stop them from scoring so that they don't really have much sight at getting back in it. Alaba now, first highlight, guys, is coming just before half-time as Martial sent down the left. He's put a ball in. Juan Mata, one of our classier players, the sort of unsung hero of the team almost, if you like. But Juan Mata grabbing himself a goal and giving us a little bit of space, just a little bit of room. It's not a position we didn't want to stay 0-0 for too long. As you can see, Mata arriving, absolutely levered it into the net. He was making sure that was going straight past the keeper no matter what. 1-0, guys. We are going to head into half-time at that. And I've got to be honest, I'm pretty pleased. Pretty pleased because PSG have got enough to damage us. They really do. But at the moment, they're not really putting it to much use. I'm going to assertively say things are going well, but capable of even better. Not really got much out of them. Not much I can do about it. But yeah, PSG have got enough about them to do some damage. They've not done any yet. In fact, to be honest, they've only had 2 shots and 1 on target. So much like anyone who comes to Old Trafford, they do struggle to get any space. And I just can't see them. I mean, if they nick one, I'll be a bit pissed. But I mean, if we walk out with a point, well, not a point, but a draw going into the next game, I'm pretty confident we can go to Paris there and grab ourselves a goal or 2. So we are at the 60th minute, guys, and as you can see, those tired legs are now beginning to play a part. Fosu-Mensah sat on 70%, which is a given that he's coming off. Got Callum Gribbin sat with a booking, Pogba booking, and booking for Pogba. I think that could be dangerous. I think he's pretty close to getting a ban. We will take him off though. We'll replace him with Ander Herrera. We'll confirm that up for now, but I will probably look at maybe changing a striker as we get very late into the game. But for now, holding that 1-0 lead, I would like to maybe just push and maybe just grab another goal. But again, we're not getting many highlights. One of the reasons I'm not the biggest fan of key highlights, I'll be honest. Extended suits me better. As Mkhitaryan's just picked up a booking there, the ex-United man. And Sirigu, is this going to be ours or theirs? It's coming down to Herrera. No, it's Cancelo to Salah. Mkhitaryan back to Smith. Oh, Salah, sorry. Martial now, it's Mata. Loses out to Cancelo. Mkhitaryan. Verratti plays through to Jones. It's Cavani. Saved by David De Gea. Well, it wasn't a save. Cavani put it wide. Oh, it wasn't Jones, it was Jonas. I was thinking to myself then, I sold Phil Jones to Bayern Munich. What's he doing? And what would he be doing up that end of the pitch? Big head on him. So we've left the sub out, guys. We are really knocking right into the 90th minute now. They did bring on Korea, and they brought... Oh, what's this? That's going to be the last one, guys. There we go, ends up the game. They did throw on a couple of substitutes late in the game. They brought on Korea. They brought on Jesse, the one from Real Madrid, as it were. And... it didn't really help them any. We have walked out 1-0 winners, which is pretty good. It's positive as we head into the second leg in Paris. I'm going to tell the lads it was a good win for us. Keep that morale high. We've got only Pogba sat on superb there. Everyone played pretty well, maybe a little bit disappointed in Memphis. I'm not going to slate him, though. At the end of the day, he has scored 5 in 4 starts, so we can't knock him there. So not much personal praise going on. We've only played 7.5s. But yeah, pretty pleased all in all, guys. So what we'll do, as usual, we'll go to the schedule, see who's going to be in the next episode. But one thing's for sure, the return leg to PSG will definitely feature. So, guys, as we had 2 live comms, and both of them were on key highlights and not the greatest. I didn't think they were the greatest. I think the sensible thing to do is, it's going to be a massive game, really important for us, is go to the PSG game. That'll be the live comm. And just have the one. Play it on extended. Because if we win, we're going through to a final that if we end up with Arsenal, to be honest, I'm pretty confident we'll win. And if we lose, well, it's going to be a bit of a kick in the balls, isn't it? Let's be honest, after such a good season. So yeah, next episode, I'll play at Newcastle between these episodes. We'll come back for the next one against Paris Saint-Germain. And yeah, that'll be what we'll do. So, if you've enjoyed today's episode, guys, do please hit the like button. It takes just a second, little click, helps the channel out tremendously, makes me know that I'm doing the right thing, you guys are enjoying it and all the rest of it. And if you are new around here, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button if you've not done so already. And other than that, guys, I hope to see you in the next episode. I've been Teach FM. I'll catch you later. See you in a bit.